my brother. That's Jonathan, the short blonde one. We adopted him when I was 10 years old. His birth mother was named Rachel. She was 18 years old and pregnant with her second child. When her mother found out, she said, "Rachel, what are you thinking? We can't afford this child. You need to get rid of this. You are not welcomed into this home again until you get rid of this child." Rachel didn't have a choice. She went to the clinic, put the gown on, and sat at the doctor's table, ready for the abortion. Something hit her. She realized she couldn't go through with this. She started crying, and the doctor told her, "You don't have to do this." She was free. She left the clinic, still pregnant, and very homeless. And that's when my family came in, and where we took Rachel. She had the courage to continue with her pregnancy. This is Jonathan, which actually means gift from God, which is exactly what he is. I want to discuss with you the problem, the process, and a new goal to abortion. Did you know that there are approximately 42 million abortions per year? That's 115,000 abortions per day. In the U.S., there are 1.37 million abortions. That's 3,700 unborn children lives taken away per day. Abortion is another Holocaust that we try to hide and dismiss. But the reality is that since 1973, when the abortion became illegal after the Roe v. Wade jurisdiction, there have been 50 million abortions. Let me put this in perspective. In the Holocaust, where the German Nazis, they killed 6 million Jews. It doesn't even compare to the 50 million lives taken away. This process is a gruesome nightmare. And I'm going to discuss with you some of the primary abortions here in our nation. The first one is when the child is 8 to 9 weeks. And this is when the baby's about this big, they have eyelashes and hair starting to grow. The doctor performs a procedure called suction abortion, which is precisely as it sounds. The doctor inserts a tube inside the womb and quite literally sucks the baby out. At 18 weeks, the baby can hear and even recognize the mother's voice. This abortion during this period of time is called dilation expiation, where the doctor takes forceps, which if you can imagine with me are like salad prongs, going inside the mother's womb and taking the baby and snapping its spine and dismembering the baby and pulling it out. Another kind is called a saline abortion, which is where a long needle about this big is inserted into the mother's womb and where a poisonous solution is put inside the baby and it shrivels the baby's skin up and it kills it within an hour. There's also abortions performed at 30 weeks. And this is when the baby is ready for life outside of the womb and it's almost fully developed. But if the mother decides to get an abortion, the doctor takes forceps and pulls the baby out and deuces it out, takes scissors into the skull, and then sucks the brain out. So why do mothers do this? Why do women feel apt to have this abortion? And do this not only to their own body, but to a piece of themselves? Well, primarily for selfish reasons, or for lack of responsibility, or lack of education. You say to me, "Hannah, what about pro-choice? What about that woman who was raped and left pregnant?" That's only 1% of reasons for why abortions. While 93% of abortions occur for social reasons, because the child is unwanted or just inconvenient. 9 out of 10 managed care plans cover the abortion procedure. We've come to a point in our society where it's available through Planned Parenthood or other pregnancy clinics. The majority of this class, you said that you don't agree with that. You don't think that abortion should be covered in insurance. 90% of you know somebody who's had an abortion. This problem will not go away. The problem is that we're murdering innocent lives. Lives that don't have a chance to take a breath in this world. Lives that don't get to sing or to laugh, or even to hear the words, "I love you." Life or death? I say life. We don't have to set an ultimatum. Lives that do not have the chance to take this breath in this world can have a chance, can have a say. There are options for women who get pregnant, and there are ways to prevent unplanned or unwanted pregnancies. The goal is to increase education and increase adoption. Look at Jonathan. He was supposed to be aborted. My brother. He was going to never hear the words, "I love you," or feel a sister's embrace. But because Rachel decided to speak for her unborn child, she gave me a brother. She gave me hope. And she gave me a story to share.